Hi, Mike, the Legally Blind Geek here. On this channel, we focus on overcoming low vision challenges. Today's topic, we're going to cover Apple Screen Reader on iPhones and iPads, known as Voiceover. Easy to set up, easy to use, but it does have some shortcomings. So we're going to discuss both. Sound like something you or someone you know would get benefit from? Check this out. Just updated my iPhone to iOS 15.2. And to exercise a little due diligence, I'm going to go through my accessibility, turn on VoiceOver, or check VoiceOver and make sure that everything is still copacetic. So basically, we go into settings, we scroll down until we find accessibility.
Accessibility button.
And with VoiceOver turned on, as I touch the screen to select an item, it speaks it. I double tap to select or to open.
Accessibility features help you customize your iPhone for your individual needs.
As we go into the accessibilities folder or tab folder, the first thing it does is it reads the description that's at the top of the page.
Accessibility features help you customize your iPhone for your individual needs. VoiceOver on button.
Again, one finger tap on the screen where it says VoiceOver, and it selects it, double tap it to open it.
VoiceOver on.
And it describes the different gestures that are enabled when you turn VoiceOver on versus VoiceOver being off the iPhone acts just like any other iPhone that you might just accidentally pick up. But with VoiceOver on, the gestures do change.
VoiceOver speaks items on the screen. Tap once to select an item. Double tap to activate the selected item.
So that's the basics in just turning on and using VoiceOver. You can go ahead and practice.
VoiceOver practice button.
Tap on that and practice the different gestures.
Speaking rate heading.
You can adjust the speaking rate here.
Speaking rate. Speech button. Braille button.
And these are all
Speech
good things.
button.
You can open up speech.
Voice Samantha button. Voice Samantha button.
You can select the appropriate voice that you like.
Pronunciations button.
You can teach it how to pronunciate names and that sort of thing.
Pitch 60. Adjustable.
You can adjust the pitch up and down and all those kinds of things. But this is where you set up how VoiceOver works on your device. And what I want to do now is, this is the good. VoiceOver is actually a good app. Has its shortcomings, but for the most part, someone with visual impairment, legally blind, such as myself, can go in to settings, scroll down until you find the accessibilities tab, click on it, open it, whatever you need to do to open it the first time, then go into VoiceOver, turn VoiceOver on, and then just learn how to perform each one of these gestures and find out what they do. It's as simple as that. Then you just practice it and you get better at it. Now, where it's not so good is VoiceOver doesn't work all that well with the different apps. Third-party apps, okay. A lot of times you go into some of these social media sites and they are just full of all kinds of little buttons. They're full of all kinds of little things that normally sighted people just see, recognize, tap on, open, and just off to the races they go. VoiceOver doesn't work on a lot of those. They don't tell you what these buttons are. It'll just say button, 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 if it says anything at all. And some of them you can't even do anything with VoiceOver turned on. You have to turn VoiceOver off and then use a magnifier so that you can find them, those with any visual acuity left that can use their pocket-held magnifier, whatever is convenient, to find these little buttons and tap on them, just like you would a normal phone. But this stuff changes with VoiceOver on. So that's one of the downsides or the bad parts of being able to communicate, effectively with an iPhone or an iPad for that matter, using VoiceOver. Being able to find these little buttons on these different, social media sites can be a bit of a bother. Some people just choose not to do it at all, and I don't blame them. With all the stuff that's going on with privacy and all that kind of stuff, and how these different sites use your personal information, I can see how some people just don't bother with them at all. So the next thing would be, all right, well, how about some of the native apps that are preloaded on the iPhone or the iPad for that matter? Personally, one such app is Pages. I use Pages quite a bit. I use it to put together, to compose scripts for videos such as this, or write different articles, or other places that I publish online. What makes it difficult is VoiceOver being turned on. You can select something on the screen and you can read it, but it gets a little bit complicated, overly so, when it comes to going from reading mode in Pages to edit mode in Pages. And, let's just get into it here.
VoiceOver. Back button. VoiceOver. Speech. Button. App switcher. Settings. Weather. Widget. Newburgh. 41 degrees. Special weather statement.
Close out.
Actions available.
I'm just going to go ahead and close out of settings. And as you can see my home screen here, I have some different widgets installed. And, you can tap on them. Weather.
Widget. Newburgh. 41 degrees. Special weather statement. Actions available.
And VoiceOver will read what is in that little box. I've got it selected by just one finger tap. If I double tap it, it will open, but let's see if we can't find Pages.
Dock, phone, camera. Page 1 of 4. Adjust. Page 3 of 4. Pages. Pages. Add. Button.
And this is after I've gone in and set up the latest version of iOS 15.2, so I got past all the continue boxes where it tells you about all the new and exciting things that they have added, done, or whatnot. So if I just go ahead and single finger touch or tap one of the icons on the screen.
iPhone VoiceOver tutorial. Pages file. Yesterday. 187 KB. Actions available.
VoiceOver reads that file, tells me what it is. So I can double tap it with one finger.
Add. Button.
And it opens it. And across the top there are some buttons up there.
Undo. Button. Format. Button. Collaborate. Button. More. Button. Enter reader mode. Button.
So right now I can enter reader mode. Let's go ahead and do that.
Entered reader mode. Edit. Documents. Back button.
So now as you can see, that's the header or the title.
Over tutorial. iPhone voice. Over tutorial. Benefits. Visually impaired.
Now that is just tapping each line with one finger and then just moving my finger down the list. It reads each one of those lines independently. So if I touch back up at the top,
iPhone voice.
It reads iPhone voice. If I take it 2 fingers and swipe from the top to the bottom of the screen, let's see what happens.
iPhone VoiceOver tutorial benefits visually impaired. Text field. New line. Text field. What is VoiceOver? Text field. New line. Text field. How to use VoiceOver. Text field. New line. Text field. How visually impaired person benefit using VoiceOver. Text field. New line. Text field. Important iOS accessibility VoiceOver settings. Text field. New line. Text field. Find VO VoiceOver setting under accessibility.
2-finger single tap, it stops reading. I can take 2 fingers and swipe down the page.
Find VO VoiceOver setting under accessibility tab. Text field. New line. Text field. Turning on VO will change iPhone gest.
It changes what it's speaking. If I take 3 fingers and swipe up,
Page 4 of 8.
it moves down. If I swipe from top to bottom,
Page 3 of 8. Page 2 of 8. Page 1 of 8.
it moves from the top of the page down the page. So, okay, that's all well and good. So it does read that. It gives you more information than you might want, but you can swipe down through there and you can read what is on the page. Now, what happens when something doesn't sound quite right, or something is misspelled and you need to make a change? Well, then you have to go into edit mode.
Edit. Button. Exited reader mode. Edit. Enter reader mode. Button.
So when I'm in edit mode, if I do the same 1-finger touch,
iPhone voice.
to select it, and then a 2-finger swipe down,
iPhone voiceover tutorial benefits visually impaired. Text field. New line. Text field. What is voiceover? Text field. New line. Text field. How to. Entered reader mode. To use voiceover? Text field.
okay, I did a double tap, and then I did a single tap with 2 fingers to get it to stop. Now, what I want to point out here is from
iPhone voice.
when I select that, and then when it reads, the box doesn't follow, or the follow focus doesn't follow what it is reading. So what does that mean? Well, if you want to try to edit something, if you don't see it very well, and if you notice on the screen that the titles or the headers are bold, but the rest of the text is like a muted gray color, which makes it really hard for me to see against the background here. Even if I turn the brightness all the way up, it doesn't change it a tremendous amount, but I can show you how that works.
Control center. Airplane brightness. 6, 7, 80, 90, 100, 100.
Okay, it's at 100%. So now it
Pages.
just makes it,
Documents. Back button.
it just makes the back of the screen brighter, which actually makes it harder for me to see as a legally blind person. It makes it harder to see just like this line.
Voiceover?
I can tap it and it says voiceover, okay, but being able to read that or see that without voiceover makes it difficult. Now, why is that an issue? Well, let's say if I wanted to edit it.
Edit. Button. Exited reader mode. Edit. Enter reader mode. Voiceover? Text field. Is editing. What is
So
voiceover?
now-
Insertion point between is and voiceover. At the 9th position. Actions available.
Okay, voiceover tells me where the cursor is, but what does that really mean? How in the world am I supposed to be able to make my edit to change that without experimenting? You know, so if I touch it again,
What is? Voiceover? Text field. Is editing. New line. Text field. Is editing. How to use voiceover. Insertion point at end. Actions available.
so now you can see that where the box is almost impossible to understand or to see what it's actually focused on to be able to make any corrections or make any edits.
Text field. Is editing. New line. Insertion point at end. Actions available.
So as I swipe from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen to move down the text box, you can see that the follow focus, the box that would be around what it was going to read, moves down the page. However, the keyboard is hiding it. So how are you supposed to see to edit that? Or how are you supposed to see to even know where the cursor is to be able to make an edit?
Text field. Is editing. How visually impaired person benefit using voiceover. Insertion point at end. Actions
Yeah.
available.
So this is one of the bad things about trying to use VoiceOver on an iPhone running the 15.2 operating system and edit in Pages, or edit a Pages document, I guess I should say. So, interesting, but not very practical.
Well, there you have it. The good and the bad as far as Apple's screen reader known as VoiceOver. It works very well on iPads. It works really well on the iPhone. It's almost a game changer. Well, it's not almost. It is actually a game changer for anybody with a visual acuity problem. You know, whether they are classified as visually impaired due to being legally blind, or quite possibly they're just a little bit older and the old peepers just don't focus quite like they once did when we were younger. It's all good. VoiceOver works equally well for anyone. And even those that have good eyesight, that choose to have a screen reader read something to them while they're doing something else. Maybe you want to read an article on a web page, but you want to be piddle-farting around with something on the side, cleaning out your desk, doing dishes or whatnot. You can always open up that article, tap at the top of it with one finger, swipe down with two fingers, and let VoiceOver just read whatever's on the page to you while you're doing something else. It's all good. I want to ask you one question, or ask you for a favor, more so than a question. The question is, do you have any hacks, tips, tricks for VoiceOver that you have discovered that makes it work better for you? Or do you have an alternative, a different kind of screen reader that you think is better? I'd like to hear from you in the comment section down below why you think is better and what it actually is. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Be safe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Oh, remember, always work on overcoming those low vision challenges. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.